the force of love always, but mainly it's to understand a little bit more about angels. So it doesn't mean that we're going to deal with it only this week. We're going to study about it today for this week, but it's actually for every day. So let's say we got used to, over, of course, 4,000 years, many people know the name of that person called Abraham the patriarch. But think about it. It's a person that grew up in a house of idol worshiping. And to understand that, it's not just that it was idol, it means stone, god of stone or wood. No, it means that the person idol worshiping, it means limitation, it means anger, it means reaction, it means judgment, it means matter controls the person, anything controls the person. Anything that controls the person, it's called idol worshiping. Because it's idol, it means controls the person. So imagine now, to live in this environment for 75 years and to go from that end, from that darkness, to the highest level of love. Highest. No one ever reached higher level than love as Abraham, because that's why they call it Chesed Lavam, the light of grace that Abraham reached. It's the highest of all the patriarchs. So here we have the mindset of this week, the portion of this week, it's called Vayera. Angels are visiting Abraham. Later on, there is the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Later on, the same portion as the binding of Isaac. So we need to really understand, how can a person like this reach such a level? Okay. So here, what what the Torah is telling us, that he did circumcise himself, and he was 99. That's by itself, it's very painful. Okay. At the third day, the angels appear. So first, the first question is, I mean, come on, angels, be merciful a little bit. Give the guy a rest a little bit. Let him, go through the pain and then come. They visited him exactly at the highest level of pain. The third day, it's so painful. Come on. So the question is, if angels visit our lives, when, how does it really connect to me in one angle? Is it something to do with me, something not? How does it work? So much to study about angels. We're going to try to do the best we can. So here those three angels visiting Abraham at the third day, okay, and he's sitting at the opening of his tent, that's what it says. So you're thinking, okay, those three guests, they don't even know him, Abraham doesn't know, but they are coming to visit a sick man. I mean, what is it? So those three angels, we know the angels later on. But in the beginning of the portion, it's three people, it says. Shlosha anashim. Abraham also saw them as three people. But we know later on that those are the three. So, of course, every angel is for something. What does it mean? Angels, even if we think, human beings think that angels such a high level, the truth is, if you study about it, and we try to study as much as we can, like I said, Angels are lower level than human beings. See, the mind is like, really? Yes. Angels are not, those wings and clouds. Or no. Angels is spiritual entity. Okay. So angels cannot do more than one job. They do one job, that's it. So why three angels? Because one came to heal Abram. The second one was to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and the one is to notify Abram and Sarah that they're going to have a kid. I mean, that's another big story. I mean, 99 and his wife 90. Wow, amazing. So first we have to understand what the Torah is trying to tell us. You know, here a person was under the influence of idol worshiping, that it's totally limitation. And we have to understand that we are also under limitation. Why we don't believe such a story? Because it doesn't make sense. Women today, 45, 50, it's like, oh, they're on the edge. That's it. They can give birth to a baby. So first we have to understand that the Torah is not talking about specific, doesn't talk about logic. It talks about atzmuto, the force of light that it appears in our lives. Hard for us to connect to it because it's easier for every person to connect more to limitation. Because the minute you really raise yourself to a higher level, it means it's going to require that person to put more effort, to take more responsibility, and to do much more than what he's doing. So what's better? To really upgrade ourselves or to stay where we are and it feels good? Of course, we like to stay where we are and to do as less as possible. And especially if I'm okay, I'm okay, who needs more? So this is limitation. They teach us here, there is no limitation. No limitation, it means, can I do something that angel's going to appear in my life? Do I really believe that there is much more than what I see? Can I do much more? I mean, of course we do. So we have self-pity. Every little thing that happened to us, it's like, oh my God, I'm a victim of whatever it is that, every little thing. Yeah, but then we see movie, yes, it's a movie, true story, a person stuck in a desert for 127 hours or whatever, no water, no food, no this, I mean, it's a lot. So we need to understand, can we do much, much, much more than what it is that we think we are capable of? The answer is yes. Are we willing to do it? The answer is no. The answer is no. And that's why we need to understand today about the mindset that giving us this energy of this week that can lead us and show us the way through the year until it's going to come again, like any birthday and any holiday or whatever. So Abraham, it looks like that Abraham is offering those angels to wash their feet. I mean, we don't tell a guest when he comes, wash your feet. We don't even say wash your hand. We need to understand, what does it mean? And come rest under the tree, and I'm going to give you some food. And they are willing to stay and be a guest and whatever. Now, one of the guests is an angel, is telling Abraham and Sarah that exactly a year from now, that's what the Torah says, you're going to have a kid. Sarah is listening because it was, talking to Abraham, but listening, and she's like saying, come on, we are old. How can it be? Okay. So God is talking to Abraham and says, how come your wife is laughing? Okay. So now think about many people in this world. Many people. I don't know, I'm sure you know some stories. People cannot have kids, they get divorced, they split. So already they're telling us it doesn't matter what. Abraham loved Sarah more than anything that we can even ever understand love. It's unbelievable love. Something that it's not in our run, you know. So that's a little bit the story. And then of course another level of love is the angels is notifying Abraham that we're going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because they are evil. And Abraham knows that they are evil. Of course, he met the king too. Here he's arguing with God. That's a high level of love. He's arguing with God not to destroy the city. Maybe 50 good people, maybe 45, maybe 40, maybe. And then he realized there is not even 10 good people. Okay? So then the angel says, sorry, tell your nephew and his family to leave the city. We're going to destroy it. So another thing that we have to understand, and of course, all those details of the story that I don't think that we should go through every detail, but something happened in this portion that it's funny. Another king, not Pharaoh, his name is Avimelech, that he's again taking the wife of Abraham. I mean, come on. The Torah is telling us that she herself saying, I'm old. Here again, they want the wife of Abraham, and she's so beautiful. And this king gets plague, and he gets sick again, and he goes there, what did you do? Why didn't you tell me it's your wife? And you're saying again, she's your sister. The same story again. Again, talking about, if you remember, the soul, the love, and everything that we say. Okay, now Isaac was born, exactly as the Torah is saying, he was born. Now Sarah telling Abraham, tell Hagar and Ishmael to leave. I don't want the bad influence of Ishmael over Isaac. I don't want him. So they're telling us the bad influence of Ishmael. Abraham doesn't like it, but God telling Abraham, listen to your wife. It means another code for the male to listen to the female. I know it's not something that it's easy to do. And then, so they're telling us that the name of this kid is going to be Yitzhak. Do you know why? So the Torah says because Sarah was laughing. In Hebrew, tzahaka, tzahaka, and that's female. Tzahak, it's male. So Yitzhak, in really the meaning of the word Yitzhak, the meaning, it means he's in the future is going to laugh. That's really the meaning. But the numerical value of Yitzhak, it's 208. It's one more than 207 numerical value of light, or. But what does it mean, 208? You won't believe. It's 8 levels, the Sfirot, 8 levels of 26, the name of God, the Havayah. So it's 8 times Havayah. It's in the name of Isaac. So now we have to put all those things together and to understand what's going on. And then the binding of Isaac. I mean, come on, what is it? So I'm going to talk about the binding of Isaac in a little bit, but let's see if we can connect a little bit and to understand also a little bit, because there's so much teaching about it, about angels. Okay, you know, there is angels that stopped Abraham at the binding of Isaac. There's angel that fought Jacob later on. There's 3 angels now that coming to visit her. So what does it mean? Okay, so look, if I go to the beginning of the book, okay, there is verse 2 in chapter 6. It says, ויראו בני האלוקים את בנות האדם כי טובות הנה, ויקחו להם נשים מכל אשר בחרו. בני אלוקים, the sons of God, saw those beautiful women. So let's try to understand what's happened. It was 2 angels, they call it bad angels, but it doesn't matter, still they are angels. Malachi Habala. One, his name is Aza, okay? And the other one is Azael. If you didn't know what's Aza, we have a territory in Israel in the south that's called Aza. We call it in English Gaza, but it's Aza. Anyway, those 2 angels, they didn't want God to create human being. They didn't. They're going to do this, they're going to be bad, they're going to be tempted, and so on. It's amazing to understand. So here God telling them, no, it's okay, I'm merciful, I know they're going to be this and that. So the angel says, no, look at them, they're doing other worshiping. Yeah, it's talking about Abraham and the rest of the people at that time, idol worshiping. We need to punish them. So we're going to go and punish them. God says, come on, attribute of mercy. We need to let them go because they're going through a lot of kind of a test. They have to go through so many different tests. Angels they actually don't even have a test. Okay? They don't have to be tested. So he says, come on, let go, leave them alone. They don't give up. Then God says, listen, you know what? I'm going to give you an example. You two going to go down inside a body of human being. You're going to go down to this world. And I want to see if you're going to be stronger than human being, and you're not going to be tempted, and you're not going to be under the influence of idol worshiping. It means you're going to be exactly as you are right now. So those 2 angels, ירדו לעולם הזה, and let's see if you're going to go through it. Okay? Whatever those human beings going through. They couldn't go through. They fell. They sinned. הנפילים היו בארץ בימים ההם, וגם אחרי כן יבואו בני האלוקים בנות האדם וילדו להם. Okay, so not only that they couldn't, they start mixing themselves with different women, and they have kids, and a party, okay? So now there are, those angels fell. So our question is, do angels have a choice? The answer is no, not at all. Do we have a choice? The answer is yes. If we have a choice and we can have and we can do multitask, we can do so many different things at the same day, at the same time. What angels cannot do multitask, they can do only one. Not one at a time, only one, nothing else. So here we kind of understand that we have a choice and we need to use it right. It's a, it's a choice. I said it last time. Everything is a choice. It doesn't matter what it is. So think about it. If it's a choice, don't we have to choose love over hate? We're supposed to choose mercy over cruelty. We have to be good people. So here we need to understand when they talking about the angels in the Torah and even in different haftarah and all this, you know, those three angels that Abraham saw as people, and each one of them came for something else, that's already to tell us that those angels are around us all the time. They protect us all the time. And we need to understand, okay? And there is so many things to understand, so many things. So let's start with when a person is appear to one of us, is any angel, you think that all the angels are the same thing? No. I'll read for you. You'll see there is so many different names, groups of angels, and so many different angels. So now, what happened when, let's say, a person is praying? What happened? The angels taking the words, and they are the ones that moving those voices, those praying, to a different level according to the person and bringing back either no answer or an answer or blessing or whatever it is. So it's a lot up to us, a lot. I'll give you an example, okay? That we don't pay attention many times, but see, when we do minyan at the time of Amidah, we do נקדישך ונעריצך כנועם שיח סוד שרפי kodesh. You see, when we say Sarfei Kodesh, it's name of an angel, Saraf, Sarfei Kodesh. That's how they call them, those angels. And what those angels saying? המשלשים לך קדושה. Well, so many people in many cities, they just say, da, 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 they finish that. It's like, oh, I did. Wow. What they're doing. We need to understand when I start saying that human beings they are higher level than angel, it's very hard for us to understand. It's okay. You don't have to accept it, but you need to understand. Angels, before they say the name of God, they have to say 3 words at least. We can say 2 words. Baruch Ata Hashem. They have to say what it says here, Meshalshim. 3 times. They have to say 3 words before they can even say the name of God. So they say, Meshalshim Lecha Kedusha, וכן כתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 then the name of God. We don't have to say 3 words before. Many of us don't even know, okay? Every day, there is different angels, okay? Every day. So some of us know about it, but we don't know much about it. Even if we study that, it means, it's just something that kind of we do. But you see, there is those angels, and there is right here a little word. So I asked even yesterday I had a class with the people that speak Hebrew. So I showed them and they said, oh, that's the name of the Vav. Let's say you have 3 dots, called Segol. If you have 2 dots, is Shva. If you have 2 dots this way, is Tzere. If you have just 1 line under, called Patah. If it's 1 line plus, like it almost look like a plus, it's called Kamatz. So I said, so do you know why the Vav have names? Even most of the Israelis, except little kids, we can read Hebrew without a Vav. There's no language like this. If I'll take the vowels of the English, they have a game on TV, you can't read it. You have to be genius to start saying, maybe E, maybe A, maybe this. No. We read without, because the name of the vowel, it's the name of the angels that you cannot pronounce. It's the initial. There is, let's say, if it's Sunday, it's 3 angels on Sunday. The name of the vowel, it's right here. And those 4 angels, if you look, you'll see the initial, it's exactly Segol, Samech Gimel Vav Lamed. So here we have an opportunity to understand that every person have a way to connect. We can connect to angels. Angels been created actually for us to use them, because if you remember later on, we're going to see Jacob is sending angels before him to meet Esau. So always there is a way to send angels. And I know that I said it years ago, but we need to know that sometimes we hear something, it sounds good, we don't use it much, and that's it. We forget about it because we study something else. Angels have to be on a daily basis, even if you don't, by the way, even if we don't go to the angels that we scan, even if whatever, we need to know. Every word we say, every action we do, we're creating angels all the time. Those angels called Malachei Hasharet, the angels that serve. Sharet means to serve. They are here to serve. There is Malachei Hashalom. Malachei Hashalom. We sing it, some people, on Friday. So there is the angel of peace. There is so many also, those are groups, but there is also individual names of angels that stays always, not like some angels, after they finish their job, they disappear, fade. That's it. They don't exist anymore. Some angels, they are in charge. They never disappear. They're always there. Okay? So when we say Magen David, means the shield of David. It's not this David star, it's not the star of David, it's the shield of David. It's initial also of 3 angels. Magen, Mem, Gimel, Nun. Magel is Michael, Gimel, Gabriel, Nun Nuriel. But you see, there is many names of angels. There is Oriel, it means Or El, and there is Nuriel. What's the difference? Oriel is a high level of light. Nuriel is here in this world, the world of action, to enlighten the way for people according to their action and what they do. So here we're starting to kind of understand, and we need to know also that they show us different things about angels. Imagine now, it's not easy to imagine, just try. Imagine you're gonna meet an angel, but it's not like human being, because there is, by the way, angels that come inside a body just to do a task. We don't know that that person is an angel. We see the person as a body, as a human being. They do what they need to do and then they disappear. But imagine you're going to meet an angel, like whatever, this energy or whatever. People are going to be freaking out, fear. I mean, who knows more what's going to happen? That person's going to be afraid on his life. What's going to happen to him? So here, there is a question. We understand what's the difference between us, people, and angels. I'm asking the question, but I don't think that someone can answer it. But if someone wants to answer it, unmute yourself. What's the difference? And I'm giving you a hint already. We are higher level than angels. What's the difference? Anybody? It's okay. Well, you don't have to feel bad because usually they don't.
We have a choice.
With
The
what?
difference is that we have a choice
I said,
compared to the angels.
when I ask a question, I don't ask something that I already said. I said we have a choice. They don't have a choice. Not that, Roman. Something else. We are human beings. It's always people think that we are lesser than an angel. And according to the teaching, we are higher than angel. It's very simple. Angel being created, the ones that exist by God, there is angels that we create by words and action. We are chelek Elokai mimah. We are part of God from above. They are not part of God. See the difference? Huge difference. We can do many tasks, they cannot. They do only one and that's it. So it's very important to understand, okay? So what does it mean in Hebrew, malach, angel? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Could it be messenger?
Okay, but that's it. So here, let me read the beginning of the portion. For all the one that anyway for 4,000 years we think we know. We know so much because that's what people do. They read somewhere it says shaliach. Yeah, malach shaliach. Yeah, it's true. But why malach? Why they didn't call whatever this entity something else? Just because I got it, it means I got used to it. In English, they call it angel. In Hebrew, they call it malach. Why they call it malach? It's very important to know. That's it. Messenger. Ah, so amazing. You know, poor angel. We can do whatever we want. He's a messenger. It's true. That's what it says in many books. But there is more. Malach, numerical value is 91. It's the same numerical value as Amen. Okay, and also the same thing we say Hag Leilanot. Ilan, in Hebrew, it's a different word for tree. But sometimes they use Ilan, sometimes they use tree. So here, listen to the beginning of the portion. Vayar elav Hashem be'alonei, plural for Ilan, be'alonei mamre. Okay. So what's mamre and what's alonei? I mean, no one speaks this way. I never use those words ever in my life, except when you come to this portion, that's what you read and you accept it as is. Anyway, we don't know what to do with those words that we don't understand, and that's it. So what does it mean? See, the name of the angel is hidden here because always we have to know names of angels always are hidden. Don't forget when Jacob fought the angels and he asked him, what's your name? He says, why are you asking me for my name? By the way, most of the angels, we're not supposed to pronounce the names. There is only few, like Michael, Gabriel, the few that you can say. And we need to know also why we cannot pronounce the angel. Why not? Why few yes, few not? Why? Why can't we pronounce the name of an angel? Supposed to only look at the name and that's it. You know more, you believe.
Because we're tapping into it? Could it be because when you say the name, you're sort of connecting to it or tapping into the energy?
Okay, but what does it mean? What tapping? Tapping to what? Angels, you said yourself, they are messengers. They're supposed to do something. It's not that you can't tap into the energy of an angel. We are higher than an angel.
So he's not a conduit or anything? He's not a conduit to God?
Not exactly. Not exactly. When he needs to do something that God told him to do, that's something else. But what about us? Why can we pronounce the name of an angel? It's really simple. Because the minute you say the name, they appear. Even if we don't see them, they appear. But the problem is, they appear and you don't tell them what they need to do, or you don't know what it is, then they go against you. They go against you. By the way, 500 years ago, not many people know, even if it's written in a book, Rabbi Ziklura wrote in his book that you can write names of angels on parchment. They fold it, they seal it, they give it to people for healing. Some people do it. They call it in Hebrew kmeot. So Rabbi Ziklur says, don't use it. Why they use it? Because 500 years ago, when he wrote his books, he knows already that every person on earth, every person, have already the impurity of death. Because the minute someone touch a dead person, it doesn't matter how he touched someone, this energy goes from one person to another person. It's called Tumat Met. And he says because every person in this world have it, they cannot use those kmeot anymore. And people using it, and it goes against them. So it means it helps in the beginning because it's supposed to help. But after they finish the task, they go against the person and he become even sicker than before. And I helped a person in Haifa that was, I can't even tell you the story about it. It was horrible with all those Kmeod that he used. So we need to understand all this because, yes, we have a connection with the angels, and that's why they say Hayim v'Mavet biyad halashon. That's why there is someone by the synagogue that supposed to correct the person that's reading. Why? Because the vow are the names of the angels. You cannot just use different angel because it's not going to work. I never knew, they never taught me at school, they never taught anybody at school that the nikud, we call it in Hebrew, the nikud, those dots or whatever, it's angels. We didn't know. For us, it's the name of the vow, and that's it. Shuruk, Segol, Shva, Patach. Okay, I got used to it. So the minute I say it, I know how it looks like. But I never know that it's the initials of the angels. That's why they never put any kind of vow in the Torah, because they cannot be inside. They cannot be part. That's why only the beginning when kids, they start study, they show them those vows, and then after they know, there's no vows anymore. It's the only language that you read without. So we supposed to connect to the angels. It means that's why we say Hayim v'Mavet biyad halashon. Life and death is in your mouth. You have to be careful what you say, or you should use it right. So the minute we start to understand that we are creating angels, it's the same thing here. Let me show you. So when we come to Friday night, some people, some people don't, but we finish praying before the Kiddush, we say, Malachei HaSharet, right? So we say every sentence 3 times. And then the third one, Barchuni LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, means bless me. After the blessing, what's the last one? Tzetchem LeShalom, they leave. So if a person is a little bit kind of knowing what he's even reading, not just singing, then he knows that those angels that I created during the week, coming to receive the light after we finish the prayer, they give me the blessing, and after they give the blessing, they have to leave. It's right there in front of the person. So if you ask me, I never knew until I start digging and understanding that we have, we have an ability to really, get closer to the love of God. Okay? אהבתו של הקדוש ברוך הוא לישראל, שהרי מלאכי השרת שהם גיבורי כוח עושים דברו, because מלאכי השרת, they came to serve us because God told them to do so. עשאן הקדוש ברוך הוא שומרים לישראל. God made them to make sure to keep those people that called Israel and protect them. עשאן הקדוש ברוך הוא שומרים לישראל. ומי הם? מיכאל, גבריאל ואוריאל. על חומותייך ירושלים הפקדתי שומרים. So if you know those Hebrew, he put angels of all in Jerusalem on the walls of Jerusalem. וכיוון שבא סנחריב, one of the kings that wanted to destroy Jerusalem, מיכאל יצא והיכה בהם. Michael, this angel go and he hit them. גבריאל הציל במצאתו של הקדוש ברוך הוא לחנניה וחבריו. So Gabriel went and he helped Hananiah, one of the righteous in his people. And that's why it says, God made a condition with the angels. When he asked one of the angels, Michael and Gabriel, he says, look, You go down and you save Abraham, so he's not going to be burned from the fire. אתם הייתם מצילים אותו. But because Abraham, he was the highest level of all, I don't want you to go down. I myself, God, I'm going to go down to save Abraham. So it's like we want to receive some blessing from the angels. We need to understand how we do it. When you have mercy to people, those angels are going to bring you mercy. When you blessing someone, you are getting the blessing. Why? Because it says, "המברך את חברו נהנה תחילה." When you blessing your friend, you will be answered first. So everything is with the angels. And that's why the angels are, it's like they're waiting for people to pray. They're waiting for people to study. So every time we study, angels appear. They want to be part. Why? Because they're getting even more. They don't get it. What do you think? Angels study? They're waiting for us to study so they can study. They're waiting for us to pray so they can be part of it. Nagdisha v'naritzach. I mean, they're waiting for us. So there is so many different things. So there is angels. They always been created al yedei maaseh adam. When a person making a mitzvah, he's buying an angel. But how they call that angel? Like is the protector. He's always going to say something good on behalf of that person. But if you do something bad, over avera ba'olam, you are buying persecutor. It means someone's going to say all the bad things that you did. So we have to understand. And then there is something unique, beautiful. When you do good things and you have good angels that you created, the bad angels go to the good and they become good and they help you. When you do bad things, the good angels goes to the bad angels and they go against you. So look at this, so beautiful. You do something good, even the bad angels join the good to help you. You do something bad, the good angels join the bad angels against you. So look how much, so beautiful, all those angels. So it's good to do good deeds, maaseh tov. Don't ever try to create a prosecutor against yourself. Don't. We need the angels, srafim, ofanim, hayot hakodesh. So we have to understand there is, many different angels, but we have to always remember the soul that we have is higher than an angel. Higher. This soul comes to a physical body so we can elevate the body and make the body at the same level as the soul. Very few people until today, but that's really what we need to do. We need to also know, it says, חשוב לדעת, חשוב להבין שלמלאכים אין יצר הרע. Angels don't have evil inclination because they don't have a choice. We do. So imagine, let's say we have evil inclination and I overcome them. I become higher than an angel because he doesn't have even the test to go through the evil inclination. They don't have. הם מתוכנתים. They are already been programmed to serve God or to serve people. It depends on the level of the angels. A person, the opposite, he lives in a place, he has two inclinations, one good, one bad. You have to go through temptations, you have to do mitzvot, you have to pray, he have to create angels. He's actually almost like we said before, if you remember, to be partner with God means God says, I finished my job, now it's your job. And that's what it is. The angels actually supposed to help us, to raise us, to help us to go to a higher level of where we are and to overcome the bad, the evil inclination that we have. So the minute we understand that, it's like, okay, another thing, angels have exactly time when they sing once a day. They sing to God. And we can sing anytime we want. They cannot sing anytime they want. Okay? So it says here clearly, חביבים ישראל לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא יותר ממלכי השרת. שישראל אומרים שירה בכל שעה. ישראל can do singing anytime, כל שעה. מלאכי השרת אין אומרים שירה אלא פעם אחת ביום, only one time. I'm reading it. ויש אומרים פעם אחת בשבת, or those kind of angel. יש אומרים from the angels only once a month, and there is angels that doing only once a year. And we can do it anytime we want. That's why it says, ישראל זוכים לומר שירה בכל רגע שירצו. ואילו המלאכים אומרים שירה רק בזמנים קבועים מראש. We can sing anytime we want. Angels have exact time when they can do it. I mean, it's unbelievable. Okay. So I talked about, to make angels to swear, to make them do something. It's not good according to Rabbi Zekloria. So there is so much, and there is so many angels around us. For example, when you look at the mezuzah, some people kiss it or whatever, what happened? Ki malachav lishmor lach. It means the angel is supposed to protect you. But it says beboacha, when you come into the house, ubetzetcha, and also when you come out. How can it be? Because the angel is supposed to protect you not only inside the house because of the mezuzah. What's the mezuzah? To remind me what kind of a behavior I have to behave. That's really what it is. And, there is so much, but look at the end of the story when the binding of Isaac, okay? So, Vayakod et Yitzchak, he put Isaac on the altar, okay? And he held the knife. ויקח את המאכלת לשחוט את בנו, I'm reading it from the portion. ויקרא אליו מלאך השם מן השמיים. The angel of God calling Abraham from heaven. ויאמר, אברהם, אברהם. ויאמר, הנני. So what do you mean? Abraham twice? Why twice? With Noah twice, Abraham twice, with Isaac twice, Jacob twice. So many times it happened in the Torah things. Why? Because if you look, every time they said Abraham twice or Isaac twice, it means before and after. I mean, when he really passed the test. See, we need to know how to read it. So it means after all the things that in this portion, all the stories, still God is testing Abraham to see what he's going to do. The only son he has is a sacrificing. And Abraham goes and he's doing it. Okay. So the love that Abraham had to God, what does it mean? To people, to everything, was such a high level that is so hard to understand. So when we want to really listen to angels or talk to angels or or do whatever, we need to elevate ourselves. We cannot just be sad and upset and judging and reacting and angry and all this. This is blocking us from even listening to this intuition, like we say, the godly within that we have and the surrounding light that we have. So here, he's stopping him because Abraham that was, now this is Abraham that's after. You pass the test. And the minute we understand that, it's amazing to understand the love that Abraham had to any human being. Any human being. And that's why until today, more than 4,000 years, almost every person in this world knows the name Abraham. So think, what do we need to leave behind us in this world? Some people died recently, no one knows them. Each one of us have the ability to make sure that I leave something behind me for human being. If not, it says that the person was never born. We're not supposed to be born from me. We are here to serve. We are here to love. We are here to elevate. We are here to influence, להשפיע. We are here to love. And this portion, vayera, and to understand what be'alunei mamre, mamre is it's a name of the angel Raphael. Raphael is an angel that healing. And when you say mamre, mem resh aleph, okay, it means exactly 281. And when you write a doctor in Hebrew, resh pei aleph, it's 281. Okay, there is more. I don't want to go into they call Mansapah, but that's already Telum's emanation. It's not for now. But we have to know that the angels always coming in a concealed way. They help us to heal. They help us with business. They help us with relationship. They help us with many, many different things. Just we're supposed to make sure that we don't do anything to scare them away. The more you're happy, the more angels you have around you. The more you sing, the more, any kind of excitement, more angels around you. That's why we're supposed to be as much happy as we can. That's why it says the biggest mitzvah, it's to be happy. Happiness and love, they always go together, because if a person upset, he's so depressed or whatever, he's actually caught up with himself. He cannot see and feel anybody, and he's going down. So happiness and love goes together. Don't ever forget it. That's why it's the biggest mitzvah.
Ronnie, when you're praying for something, so you're praying to God, but these angels just listen to you, or do you ask for the angels to help? Because you said
no, you don't need to ask for the angels. It's automatic.
It's automatic, but you have to be conscious about it. Like there's good things happening.
Of course, we need to. So let's say it says clearly, by the way, if a person is upset, if he prays, it doesn't work. If a person goes to a shul, synagogue, whatever name you want to use, and he doesn't like one person in this synagogue, if he prays or not, it's the same thing. We cannot have in our mind that we dislike someone in the synagogue where we pray.
Right, no negativity. You can't have any negative. It has to be only positive.
Then the angels works automatic. I don't have to tell them. It's like it's already there, because the minute you said amen, amen, it means Yud Kevavke 26, but we don't say Yud Kevavke. We say Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. When you take Aleph Dalet Nun Yud, that's how we pronounce the name of God. It's 65. The name of God, it's 26. Yud Kevavke Havayah. 26 and 65, it's 91. Amen is 91. Angel, Malach, it's 91. It means automatic. The minute he comes, because I said the word Aleph Dalet Nun Yud, Adonai, right? Right here. He takes it and he connects the worlds. The Zir Anpin and Malchut. He connects them, the angel, because that's his name, to connect the worlds. That's why he can connect the world between the body and the soul. It's two different worlds. That's why we have so much arguments inside our head. So the angel will help me, but he asked me kind of, but don't be upset. If you're upset, I cannot be part of you.
What if you're not upset, but you're not focused? That also doesn't work? There's no prayer? Let's say something distracting you.
It depends on the level of the person also. Okay, you remember the story that no one knew what they are praying, and it looks like Yom Kippur, there is no answer. Here comes a kid, he doesn't know how to pray, and he whistled. And the Baal Shem Tov said, wow, the gate's opening. And everybody starts screaming at the kid. And the Baal Shem Tov says, what are you screaming at the kid? Because he whistled from his heart, because he doesn't know how to pray. He opened the gates, not our prayer. So yeah, it depends. What does it mean, not focus? It means he's thinking about a woman, he's thinking about the business, he's thinking about nonsense. That's bad. He's not so focused because he doesn't know how to do it, no big deal. But he's not somewhere else. See, when we talk to people, sometimes says, I'm so sorry, can you repeat? I wasn't here. Well, then that's not good.
Ronnie, when a person dies, right, the soul, I thought that like they become sort of like angels, but they're not. Then what do they do? What are they doing like once they die? Like you said they go back to work, they're working, they're doing stuff.
Well, maybe one day we're going to study about it. There is a lot of study about the whole, the word mavet, death, is not so simple. Okay, even the way a person dies, there is a reason for it. Everything. A soul, it's much higher than angel, because angel been created. Okay, soul is part of God. If soul even doing something bad, it's still part of God. If soul have to go up there somewhere, it's always going to go through a process of cleansing before it will enter again the body. So they don't just put that soul that just left immediately to a womb of a woman for that person to come back. There is 7 levels, that it's different dimension, that the soul have to be cleansed there.
But they say that like they're helping you from above, or they can do stuff, or no?
It depends a lot. It depends on who is the person. Not everyone can do that. It's also who is here. So sometimes, let's say there is few in the family, one will get help and the rest no. Not everyone. It's not like automatic because it's the father or the mother or no. And also it depends on the person himself. If he have any merit, because when they leave, they can ask from the angels to do it. They don't do it. They can, but.
And then my other question is about, you keep on saying like God spoke to Abraham, and Abraham, like, how does God speak to Abraham? It doesn't.
God speaks to all of us all the time, 24/7. But we are busy. When you call someone and you hear toot, 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 you can't speak because the person doesn't answer. Why he doesn't answer? Because we know he's talking, we call it on the other line. So it's busy. Our mind is so busy with what? With what? We're
So
not busy with the most important thing. We are busy with nonsense.
So the good stuff that we hear, the good conscious, the Yetzirah Tov, that's God?
In a way, not necessarily. It could be angel.
So how is God talking to us? I'm trying to understand how God specifically told Abraham like this. How, like,
God can talk to a person through an angel. If you reach a high level, God can talk to you. Not every, not, no. It's like it's talking to us, but different ways. Okay, different levels. Okay, there is no such thing. It's like it was a story about a person that is working in the dungeon, they call it. It's a horrible place, drunks people, and he's praying and pleading, God, please, please, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to pray more and study more and everything for a long time until one day he heard the words from above. It says, words from above. Kol milamala. And it says, we don't want you to pray more and study more. Your tikkun is in the dungeon. You're supposed to enlighten that place. See, the tzaddikim always went to Egypt. Why? Tzaddikim goes to a dark place to enlighten it. What do? We like to go to a nice place, to an enlightened place, so I don't have to make an effort. We don't like to go to the dark place. We're supposed to. When we go to the dark place, then the angels help us even more to enlighten that place.
dark place, you mean like helping people or the things that are
Something
hard?
that it's not easy. Things that are not easy. Yeah. We like to go to the easy ways where it's comfortable. Then
Oh, you mean not meet our challenges, like not to face it, not face things.
exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.